Hello and good evening. You're watching Express News with me, Nancy Kohli. Let's begin with the top stories. Two-time BJP MP Om Birla is the NDA nominee for the Lok Sabha Speaker's post. Other parties including BJD, Shiv Sena, MNF, Akali Dal, LJP, YSR Congress, JDU, AIADMK also support Birla's nomination. The Lok Sabha Speaker's election is scheduled tomorrow. Birla will succeed the 8th-term MP Sumitra Mahajan as the Lok Sabha Speaker. The opposition has not yet announced any candidate for the post. Today is the last day to file nomination for the Speaker's post. Birla's wife Amita Birla said it is a very proud moment for the family. She also thanked the party for nominating Om Birla as the Speaker of the 17th Lok Sabha. BJP MP Om Birla, the NDA candidate for the post of the Lok Sabha Speaker, meets the outgoing Speaker Sumitra Mahajan. Swearing in of newly elected members of Parliament continues on the second day in the Lok Sabha today. The NDA Speaker candidate Om Birla, Rajyavardhan Rathore and Sunny Deol take oath. Two terrorists eliminated during counter-terror operation that followed the gunfight between terrorists and joint forces at Marhama, Bijbihara in Anantnag district in South Kashmir. One of the terrorists identified as Sajjad Bhatt, considered to be the key conspirator in the 14th February Pulwama suicide attack on the CRPF convoy and allegedly provided the vehicle used in the attack. The other terrorist has been identified as Tasif Ahmed Bhatt, also a resident of Anantnag. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar visits Muzaffarpur to take stock of the situation arising from the cases of acute encephalitis syndrome in the state. 108 children have lost their lives in the state so far due to acute encephalitis syndrome. 89 children died in Sri Krishna Medical College and Hospital. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has issued directions for immediately sending another high-level team to Bihar's Muzaffarpur to support the state in the research center assures of all technological and financial assistance. Striking doctors in West Bengal resume work at all state-run hospitals following the week-long strike that had disrupted healthcare services across the state. The Supreme Court today deferred the hearing on a plea seeking protection to doctors in the government hospitals, saying since doctors have called off their strike in West Bengal and other states, there is no urgency to hear the matter. The Government of India compulsorily retires 15 very senior officers of the rank of Principal Commissioner, Additional Commissioner, Deputy Commissioners of the CBIC today under Rule 56J of the Fundamental Rules. Former Union Minister and senior BJP leader JP Nadda is the working president of the Bharati Janata Party. The decision was taken at the BJP parliamentary meeting. Prime Minister Modi congratulated him, saying JP Nadda is a diligent karyakarta of the party who's risen through the ranks due to his hard work and organizational skills. Humble and affable, he is widely respected across the BJP family. Congratulations to him on becoming the working president of the party. BJP President Amit Shah and other senior leaders congratulated JP Nadda on his appointment as the working president of the Bharati Janata Party. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh pays tribute to Army Major Ketan Sharma, who lost his life in Anantnag encounter yesterday. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat was also present. Maharashtra government has allocated 500 crore rupees in its budget for modern weapons, instruments and technologies to put an end to the Naxal activities in affected areas, also for special skill development program to provide employment to youth in the area. Press releases from Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister's office to now be published in Sanskrit as well. Early releases were published only in English and Hindi. West Bengal Chief Minister and TMC Chief Mamata Banerjee has written a letter to Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi and informed him that she will be unable to attend the meeting of the presidents of all the political parties called by Prime Minister scheduled for tomorrow. Fugitive Mehul Choksi submitted an affidavit in the High Court stating that he is residing in Antigua and willing to cooperate in the investigation in the PNB scam case. The national capital on Tuesday morning witnessed intermittent rains and gusty winds that caused the mercury to drop to 20.6 degrees Celsius. Chhattisgarh residents may get respite from the scorching heat soon as rains are likely to occur in the state in the next 2 days, according to the Met Department. Tibetans celebrate the holy month of Sakadawa in Dharamshala, Himachal Pradesh. The festival is observed in the light of Lord Buddha's birth, enlightenment and death, where Tibetans pay prayers to Lord Buddha. Jammu and Kashmir's Gandarbal district is soaked in the wave of spiritualism as the district hosted the annual Kheer Bhavani Fair, one of the biggest religious events of Kashmiri Pandits in the valley. Indices snap 4-day losing streak. The BSE Sensex rose 85.55 points to 39,046.34. The Nifty gained 19.30 points at 11,691.5. The market breadth was in favor bears as about 1,546 shares declined against 964 advancing on the BSE. The rupee erased all its morning gains but traded marginally higher by 5 paise at 69.85 per dollar versus previous close of 69.90. The gold prices climbed in futures trade on Tuesday in the light of positive global trend, while an uptick in demand by jewelers at the spot markets further supported the yellow metal. Silver also advanced on a hike in demand by industrial units and coin makers at the spot markets. Commerce and Industries Minister Piyush Goyal has asked representatives of e-commerce companies to send their concerns over data storage requirement to leverage innovative digital technologies and uncloak immense economic opportunities within 10 days. Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant has said that circular economy has the potential to create nearly 1.5 crore jobs in the next 5 to 7 years and create lakhs of new entrepreneurs. The Reserve Bank of India will look into concerns about data storage rules that have been raised by companies after entities such as MasterCard and Visa were forced to store more of their data locally in the country. Hindustan Petroleum Company Limited's Executive Director Retail GSV Prasar launches 2 new fuel additives, Winner Petrol Plus and Winner Diesel Plus, which will be available in small convenient pouches to make the branded fuel available across the country. Auto tariffs have increased for Delhi commuters from today. The Delhi Transport Authority has issued a notification marking a 18.75% increase on the existing rates. According to the notification, the meter down charge will be 25 rupees for the first 1.5 kilometers instead of the existing 2 kilometers. The per kilometer charge has also increased. The global rating agency, the Fitch Ratings, cuts its forecast for India's GDP growth to 6.6% from 6.8% for the current fiscal due to slowdown in agriculture and manufacturing. Low-cost airline Indigo has placed a $20 billion jet engine order with the CFM International to power 280 Airbus A320neo and A321neo aircraft. The contract is the largest ever single-engine order in history. Airbus launches a long-range version of its A321neo jet at the Paris Air Show, aiming to carve out new routes for airlines with smaller planes and steal a march on rival Boeing's plans for a possible new mid-market jet. And increasing its flight network by more than 50%, Vistara has announced addition of 62 new flights connecting Mumbai and Delhi with other cities across the country from the beginning of this month. It also announced a 48-hour sale from the 18th to 19th of this month. Insolvency proceedings against Jet Airways are likely to begin this week as a consortium of leaders led by the SBI failed to find a buyer for the beleaguered airline. The home prices in 70 major Chinese cities remain stable despite slight increases in May, claims Chinese National Bureau of Statistics. The new house prices in first 4-tier cities, that's Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen and Guangzhou, increased by 0.3% in May, that's down from 0.6% increase in April. Second round of voting to choose Britain's next Prime Minister begins. Conservative MPs vote by secret ballot in the House of Commons. Any of the 6 remaining candidates will be eliminated from the contest if they come last or fail to secure at least 33 votes. US President Donald Trump in a tweet says that America will begin the process of removing millions of illegal migrants next week. Donald Trump said the US Immigration and the Customs Enforcement will deport the people who have illegally found their way into the US. As tensions with Iran over tanker attacks intensify, the U.S. military will send an additional 1,000 troops to the Middle East, U.S. Acting Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan has said. China intervenes between U.S. and Iran as Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi calls on the U.S. to stop the extreme pressure on Iran. He says the world should not open a Pandora's box in the Middle East and denounces U.S.'s pressure on Iran. Oil prices fall for a second day today on signs that global economic growth is being hit by the US-China trade war. All the losses were limited by tensions in the Middle East after last week's tanker attacks. A wide range of US-based companies say that they have few alternatives other than China for producing clothing, electronics and other consumer goods as the Trump administration prepares new tariff on the remaining US-China trade. Amid the trade tensions, China says trade disputes can only be resolved through dialogue based on equality and mutual respect. Earthquake of magnitude 6.0 rocks China and causes landslide in the Sichuan province. At least 12 people die and more than 122 sustain injuries. Disaster relief work is underway after quakes hit southwest China province. The Chinese armed police rescues many, including a family of 3 trapped for 8 hours in a house damaged in the earthquake. Chinese President Xi Jinping is all set to travel to North Korea on Thursday for a 2-day visit. The Chinese leader will meet North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to discuss the problems facing the Korean peninsula. 4th time in a row, China continues to rank first in the number of world's top 500 supercomputers, suggests an authoritative ranking list released at the ongoing ISC High Performance in Frankfurt in Germany. Of the top 500 supercomputers, 219 come from China. Hong Kong leader Carrie Lam apologizes for recent upheaval and says she had heard the people loud and clear after some of the most violent protests in the city against an extradition bill that she had promoted and then postponed. The toll of Turkey's boat accident rises to 12. The boat carrying migrants to Greece capsized and sank in the sea yesterday. Around 31 people have been rescued so far. Syria does not want to see fighting with Turkey, the Syrian foreign minister has said after Turkey alleges Syria of attacking one of its posts in Syria's Idlib region. Syrian foreign minister meets his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Beijing. He is on a 6-day visit to China, which began yesterday and will end on the 21st of this month. Former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi buried in Cairo. Morsi died yesterday at the age of 67 from a heart attack after collapsing in a Cairo court while on trial on espionage charges. A 44-year-old New Zealander, Philip Abs, has been jailed for 21 months on charges of distributing videos of the Christchurch shootings. The man had pleaded guilty on 2 charges of distributing objectionable material after sharing copies of the live-stream video of about 30 people soon after the massacre. In Canada, 4 people were wounded in a shooting in Toronto during a crowded victory rally for the Toronto Raptors basketball team. Thousands of sports fans were packed into the city centre in the Nathan Phillips Square when shots rang out, causing people to panic. At least 161 people have been killed in the northeastern province of Democratic Republic of Congo in the past week in violence occurring due to ethnic clashes between farming and herding communities. The master plan to expand London's Heathrow Airport releases. As part of the plan, a 3rd runway will be constructed by 2026 and complete its expansion by 2050. The plan also includes diverting rivers, moving roads and rerouting the M25 through a tunnel under the new runway. The statue of film star Marilyn Monroe has been stolen from a public artwork in Los Angeles. Dedicated in 1994, the installation is meant to symbolize diversity in Hollywood. The investigation is underway. The 2019 Bonn Climate Change Conference kicks off in Bonn, Germany with a call for adhering to the path of Paris Climate Change Agreement. This year's Bonn Conference is tasked with mapping out final guidelines for the implementation of the Paris Agreement on climate change. Facebook links with 28 partners with Geneva-based Libra Association, which will govern its new digital coin set to launch in the first half of 2020. Facebook has also created a subsidiary called Calibra, which will offer digital wallets to save, send and spend Libras. Instagram is testing new features that might make it easier for people to regain access to accounts that have been hacked. Adobe, along with researchers from the University of California, Berkeley, have trained artificial intelligence to detect facial manipulation in images edited using the Photoshop software. A new privacy feature has been added to WhatsApp that helps users from being added to groups. Under the privacy menu in WhatsApp, users can change the group settings to either nobody, everyone, or my contacts. Accordingly, users will be added to the groups, and for those who choose nobody, a request to join the group will be sent. It is available for beta users only. Twitter image, colors, and content can help identify users with depression and anxiety. A new study has shown that users who score high on a depression and anxiety survey often post photos that are less aesthetically appealing, less vivid in color, or display title, depth of field. Social media can be a major asset for preventing infectious diseases from spreading by informing the public of outbreak, according to researchers from the Kansas State University. According to the latest report, Cupertino company is set to deliver its largest iPhone display to date in 2020. Apple is planning to release an iPhone XS Max equivalent in 2020 that will boast a 6.7-inch OLED display that's 0.2 inches larger than the current model. Findings from a new study have suggested that inadequate consumption of fruits and vegetables may be a major factor in the heart disease death. A new research has suggested that women may be slightly better than men at remembering certain things, including conversations and people's faces. The World Health Organization says the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo is cause for extraordinary concern but has not yet reached the threshold to declare it a global emergency. For the first time, scientists have found a drug that can delay the onset of type 1 diabetes in those who are at high risk of developing the autoimmune disease. The phase 2 trial that studies the drug's effectiveness in a relatively small number of people is the first to show that immunotherapy can be used to delay the onset of an inherited disease. New research has found an intriguing link between undetected blood sugar disorders and the development of heart attacks and severe gum disease. Previous research has pointed to a connection between periodontitis, a chronic condition that affects the gums and bones that support the teeth, and diabetes. Former Pakistan captain Waqar Younis believes the current Indian team intimidates Pakistan, who are always under pressure ahead of the big-ticket clashes against their arch-rivals. Bangladesh all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan scored his second century, and Lytton Das scored an unbeaten 94 as they thumped two-time champions West Indies by 7 wickets. 15-year-old Chinese footballer LV Sunha has officially signed with River Plate in June this year and become a member of the River Plate's teenager training camp. At the Australian Open in January, Andy Murray intended to retire after Wimbledon due to a crippling pain that stopped him from doing everyday tasks. He is set to feature in the men's doubles alongside Spaniard Feliciano Lopez on the 19th of this month. That's 5 months after undergoing a hip resurfacing operation. Marin Cilic of Croatia won over Christian Garin of Chile during their singles match on Monday. Marin Cilic began defense of his title at the Queen's Club grass court event with a 6-1, 7-6 fending of a late comeback attempt by Christian Garin. The Raptors clinched the best-of-7 series in Auckland by beating the defending champion Golden State Warriors. The victory is the first major professional sports championship for a Canada-based team since 1993. Around 2 million Toronto Raptors fans jammed the streets of Toronto to celebrate. Double Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso won the Le Mans 24-hour sports car race for the second consecutive year with Toyota teammates Kazuki Nakajima and Sebastian Buemi. They were crowned world endurance champions, making them the first Japanese to win the title. While number 5 Alexander Zverev of Germany cracked into the second round of the Hall Open with a 6-4, 7-5 victory over Dutchman Robin Haase on Monday. Pakistan origin British boxer Amir Khan has tweeted advising the Pakistan cricket team on staying fit and being disciplined regarding food and diet in lieu of their loss in the World Cup match with India. New Zealand will look to go on its winning streak in the ongoing ICC Men's Cricket World Cup as they're set to play against South Africa at Edgbaston in Birmingham on the 19th of of this month. Defending champions Chile started their Copa America campaign with a win against Japan 4-0 in their opening match. South African pacer Ngidi is fit and ready to bolster the South Africa pace attack as they set to face New Zealand in their must-win match of the World Cup tomorrow in Birmingham. Manchester United have been rebuffed for a second time in their attempts to sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka from the Crystal Palace. The Eagles Academy graduate has been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford this summer. South Africa, who registered their first win of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup by defeating Afghanistan by 9 wickets, will face a much stiffer challenge when they take on New Zealand at Bastion on Wednesday. France beat Nigeria 1-0 in an incident-packed Women's World Cup game. Despite losing 1-0, Nigeria still have a big chance of making the last 16 as one of the best third-placed teams. Real Madrid wants to complete Pogba's signing as quickly as possible. United have been unwilling to negotiate Pogba's exit so far. Paris Saint-Germain's club president Nasser Al-Khelaifi has said that forward Kylian Mbappe will 200% still be at the French club next season. Kate Middleton celebrates Children's Hospice Week by raising awareness for a noble cause of providing vital sanctuaries for those experiencing the very toughest of times. Bollywood actor Ayushmann Khurrana initiated a campaign ahead of the release of his movie Article 15. The campaign throws light on inequality based on the caste system. To the delight of audience, Bollywood's father-son duo Shah Rukh Khan and Aryan Khan will lend their voices for the Hindi version of Disney's The Lion King as Lion Mustafa and son Simba. In a much-celebrated event at New York, the famous songwriter Justin Timberlake was honored with Songwriters Hall of Fame award. He is awarded for his unmatchable contribution to the English music industry. The much-awaited MTV Movie and the TV Award hosted by Zachary Live in California conferred awards in 17 genres, with actor Dwayne Johnson and Lady Gaga taking away the Best Actors award. After shooting for his forthcoming film Chehre with Imran Hashmi, Amitabh Bachchan is now headed for his next project, that's Gulabo Sitabo. The project is under Shuji Sarkar and the shooting will take place in Lucknow. Ahead of trailer launch, Rajkumar Rao and Kangana Ranaut star upcoming movies. A motion poster is out for viewers as both will be wooing the audience after 6 years. And that's all we have for you in this edition of the news. But for all the latest news and updates around the clock, you can follow us on Twitter and YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at DD News Official. And that's it then. Thanks for being with us.